Hi, my name is Jennifer Hartman.
I'm the HR staff writer and human resources expert for Fit Small Business, and this video will show you how to interview someone for a job, plus a free downloadable checklist. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can click on our article in the description box below that covers this information and download the free checklist. Knowing how to interview someone for a job, whether in person, by phone, or via video, will help you discern whether an applicant is a good fit for your open positions. It is a fairly straightforward process that involves gathering the needed documentation, scheduling and conducting the interview, sharing information with the candidate, and then evaluating and following up with the candidate. We will run through the steps of gathering position and candidate related documents, determining interview type and scheduling the interview, sharing information with the candidate, creating your interview guide, conducting the interview, writing your interview notes, and following up with the job candidate. Use our downloadable checklist for reminders before and after the interview. Once you're sure you want to interview an applicant for a job, you'll start gathering all the information needed to conduct the interview. That may include a job description, a copy of the candidate's employment application, and a resume. It might also include a copy of the job ad you posted and perhaps even an organizational chart to see where the job fits within your organization. Use our free downloadable checklist to ensure you have all documents needed prior to the interview. Once you have your information together, you'll need to decide on the type of interview you want to conduct and then schedule a time. There are three commonly used interview approaches when recruiting: a phone interview, an online interview, which can include video or not, and an on site interview. Telephone interviews are best for pre screening applicants as part of your recruitment process. You may want to do a quick phone screening interview with as many as 5 to 7 potential candidates to see which ones appear to be the most interested and competent. An online interview makes sense when your candidate has another job, lives in another state, or is interviewing for a remote or work from home job role. It also works when you're doing a group interview with managers who are not co located. An on site interview is done in person and makes sense when the candidate is in the same location as you. You can use scheduling apps or free online calendars like Google Calendar to schedule your interviews. Once you've confirmed a time that works for both you and the job seeker, stay in touch. It's a good idea to send an interview reminder the day prior and another on the day of the interview. Before you send the interview invitation, you'll need to figure out how long you want the candidate to be in the office and how much time you want each person to interview them. A good rule of thumb is to schedule pre screen interviews for 30 minutes and first and second interviews in 1 hour time frames. Provide your candidates with the information they will need to schedule and arrive at the interview prepared and on time. The more information that you can share with a candidate, the better. Information that you may want to include in your interview invitation include logistics, include the time, length, and location of the interview, include a Google Map link to your offices or link to your virtual meeting. People, describe who they will be meeting and who they should ask for when they arrive, such as will this be a one-on-one interview or a panel interview? Contact information. Provide the phone or text number or email account they should use if there's an emergency on the day of the interview and they need to cancel. Format. Describe the structure of your interview. Will they be making a mock presentation? Are there specific questions you want them to prepare for in advance? Dress code. It's a nice touch to include dress code information, especially if your office is super casual. This prevents the candidate from overdressing and feeling out of place. Location specifics. Anything they might need to know in advance, like if parking is difficult, the office doorbell is broken, or they need a code to get through security. An interview guide can be as simple as a piece of paper with a few questions and room to take notes, or it can be an evaluation spreadsheet with specific scenarios and a scoring mechanism like the one here, which can be found within the article linked in the description box below. What's important is that you know in advance what kinds of interview questions to ask and why. Sample questions include: what do you know about our company? What keeps you interested in this field? What do you think the position involves doing on a daily basis? Keep in mind that federal labor laws restrict the kind of questions you can ask. In addition, some state laws prohibit asking about or discriminating based on a candidate's prior salary history, criminal background, or sexual orientation. We recommend you keep your questions specific about the open position and the job seeker's skills. A behavioral interview is often the best way to assess a job applicant's experience. Another consideration for your job interview is to identify a real life work related project or task you could assign to the candidate during or after the interview. A sample assignment is a great way to learn how your job seeker tackles a task and how well they can complete it. Additionally, assessment tools that measure technical skills, personality, trustworthiness, and any number of other skills, such as the ability to use software like Excel, should be considered during or after the interview. These tools can prevent you from hiring someone who looks good on paper and sounds great in the interview, but ultimately can't do the job. You have a few options when conducting a phone interview. You can do it one on one with the applicant or have a few team members participate in a group interview with the job seeker. Often, the first interview is a phone screen and is best done one on one as it's less intimidating for the candidate. It also requires less time from others whom you might want to save for interviewing your final candidates only. Some do's and don'ts to follow on how to interview someone for a job include: do set the stage. Create a welcoming environment to put the candidate at ease by introducing yourself and all interviewers. Do not display bias. Avoid asking questions unrelated to the job itself. Reiterate the process. Remind your candidate of how your interview process works. Do not interrogate. Don't pepper the candidate with questions to see how they do under stress. That undermines your hiring process. Do pace the interview. Take a deep breath, relax, and get to know the candidate. Allow the candidate time to respond. Do not ask for free work. If you ask for an assignment to be completed, prepare to pay the candidate for their time. Don't let your employer brand be undermined by bad online reviews when the job seeker reports that your firm is a scam to get the candidates to do, quote, free work. Do observe. Pay attention to the candidate's body language as well as their answers. Do not go silent. Don't simply stare at the candidate as you read off your interview questions. Instead, engage in a friendly two-way dialogue as you would with a friend. Do summarize. Clarify what the next step is. This may be another interview, an email, or a sample task. Do not leave them in the dark. If you're still interviewing other candidates, let them know. Do offer thanks. Thank the candidate for their time, expressing appreciation for their interest in your company and the job role. And finally, do not burn bridges. Even if the candidate is a poor fit for the job, treat them with respect. Using an interview evaluation form, which can be found within the article linked in the description box below, is an excellent way to capture interview feedback because it helps you document how the candidate responds to different questions throughout the interview. That lets you rate and rank candidates in an unbiased way and select the best candidate for the job instead of the first, last, or most animated person you talked with. Every interaction you have with a job applicant impacts your company brand, and therefore it's crucial to follow up with job seekers. Start by sending an email to the rejected candidates to thank them for interviewing for your open position. The more personalized your response, the better. For example, if the rejected candidate is your second choice and your first choice had significantly more accounting experience, it's okay to express that you liked them but chose the more experienced person. It's helpful to explain what you liked best about the candidate's skills and experience, and then wish them well in their job hunt. For your top candidate, you will want to prepare a professional job offer letter that includes a start date, salary range, and benefits information, as well as a little bit about your company and culture. Conducting an effective interview takes planning and practice. An interview is little more than a structured conversation that helps you evaluate which candidate is the best for your open role. It should be based on the job description and focus on job-related skills and experience. It can also help you learn about the candidate so that you can see whether their work style and values mesh with what's needed in your business. Thank you for watching. Click to subscribe to our channel and click the links in the description box below to read our How to Interview Someone for a Job article and download our free checklist.